What are you supposed to look for when you're looking at homes? I get that question every single first-time home buyer. They walk in the door and they're like, what am I supposed to look for? So here's what I tell all my clients. Make sure your life will fit in the home. Make sure the living room will fit your couch that you just bought yesterday. Make sure that the garage is going to be suitable for all your toys. Make sure your kid stuff has enough room. Make sure there's enough storage for your needs. Just make sure your life can fit in that house. If that is a yes, here's what I look for. I check the windows out, see if they're single or double pane, because if they're single pane, that will be a big cost on my buyers later on, and I just want them to know that up front. I look at the condition of the floors and the walls. So if the walls are freshly painted, these are brand new floors, but the flooring in the rest of the house has been pretty well kept. But if this is ratted, tatted, you know, flooring from the 80s, you can see stains everywhere and it's absolutely disgusting, but the walls are freshly painted, that probably tells me there's something to hide under that paint. But not this house. This house is actually looking pretty good. I walk in the bathroom and I walk around the tubs and around the sinks, and of course I look under the sinks, and had the water been on, I would run the water. I look at the fencing because that is another major cost, and if my clients have dogs that I know the house is going to need to be fenced right away, that could be, you know, an extra $5,000, $10,000. I also look at the condition of the roof, not just the shingles themselves, but I also go under it and I look at the condition under here, and I look at the gap. See how they have the board in between the gutters and the house? That's awesome. If it doesn't have the gap, there's going to be a lot of dry rot under there. It's a lot of cost. I also go around and I look at the ends of the house. I typically like to do this in the garage too, because I look for termite tunnels. Right here is like a golden spot. Had this house had like a huge termite problem, you would see little teeny tiny dirt tunnels going up and down on the concrete right there. Don't see any. Doesn't mean there isn't any. That doesn't mean there's not a lot. Of course, I walk around the kitchen, feel for any soft spots on the floor if the house is raised. If you're worried about sloping in a home, walk on it backwards. You feel every little thing better when you walk backwards. Don't know why. I'm sure you do. I don't. If my buyer is FHA or VA, I walk around and I look for anything that an appraiser would call out for those. So peeling or chip paint, I've had appraisers call out cracks and stucco like that. All easy fixes. Of course, looking for visible dry rot. This house is pretty golden. Like that little chip down there. If the appraiser's a real pain in the rear end, they may call that out. Other things that'll be called out are holes in the walls, like fist holes, foot holes, dog bite holes, whatever, or tears and holes in the carpet, stuff like that. Now, I do this little visual inspection just so my buyers have a clear idea beforehand of what it's going to take going into the house. Like if the roof is going to need redone, how much that's going to cost, if the flooring, the fencing, anything that I told you about this video. It's just a conversation to have for us to price our offer correctly. But if they like the house still and we're going to go through with it, we're going to hire professionals to do the hard stuff. They're going to go on the house, under the house. They're going to check things out that you didn't know existed on the house. They're going to give you specifics of details on the house so you can, you know, replace like for like. Let's say if you want new siding, they're going to tell you what type of siding's on the side of the house so you can go to Home Depot and buy the exact same siding. You're going to know more about that house by the end of those inspections than the seller does. So I'm just here to do a visual, just to give you a prerequisite of what it's probably going to take financially for you to live in this house. Professionals, inspectors will do the rest for you. And honestly, I'm more concerned with what the listing agent has to tell me, like, why did it fall out of escrow so many times? Has the inspections already been done in it? Why are the sellers moving? What is motivating the sellers to move? And how can we make an offer that the sellers are going to want to accept? Because the highest and best is not always what sellers want. There are so many reasons people move, and I have gotten so many offers accepted that weren't the highest and best offer because I'm giving the seller what they want. And you just gotta ask. It's that simple. And 80% of agents don't ask. How crazy is that? It's a text, it's a call. It's the easiest part, and it's the best part. It's like one of the most important parts. And I got that number 80% because last year, with all my listings, 80% of the offers I received, the buyer's agent didn't call me a single time. How crazy is that?